Newsflash, that was just a movie, all right?
Welcome back to It's Too Bad, where we watch terrible movies and try to find the good in them. I'm Ted.
I'm Jason, and it is October.
It is October.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
As some might say.
I do say.
Right, okay.
Well, Halloween's right around the corner, and we thought we'd take this month to just kind of dive into some bad horror. Brand new season in theaters, and this year we actually kind of got a reboot sequel of The Blair Witch Project from 1999.
It feels like most studios are going towards reboots.
Right.
As we see nowadays, there's no original thoughts anymore. So why not bring back Blair Witch, which the first one in 99 I thought was brilliant.
I loved it too. I thought, you know, this is back before all the found footage. They kind of kicked it all off. Everybody's tried to replicate it.
And I think with the first marketing campaign for the internet, like that just blows my mind when, just to think like maybe, 16 years ago, they were able to fool the whole world on the internet. Now you couldn't. The idea that it was a found footage film, and no one's seen that. And so we all came in going, this could be real.
Yeah.
What we've watched for you today is going to be Blair Witch 2. But
not the new Blair Witch.
No. The actual one that they rebooted right after. The sequel, was it like a year or two after?
It was an immediate sequel. It was 2000. They have none of the same people involved in it at all. The production company that owned the rights to Blair Witch wanted to do a sequel because of the success. The people that were involved with the original didn't want to do it, and they said, oh well, we're going to make that money. They went ahead and just made a movie.
That is incredible. To me, to have such a success on the first one and then go, you know what, we're gonna capitalize on that success, and then you get this. You think the first one's a found footage kind of documentary style. This is not. This is nothing about that. It's an actual film.
Though they start by prefacing it that this is a fictionalized reenactment of actual events. Who would do that?
That seems like too much, and then you have to really think about it. Yeah, it's awful.
Why would you make a reenactment of things that just literally happened like months before?
We were discussing production value.
Sure.
Perfect.
They had money. You know, the original Blair Witch was done on a shoestring budget. No crew to speak of. The actors were the crew for the most part. You had a few people out in the woods kind of guiding them throughout. But this one had pre-production. This one had production and post-production. And they paid for that. When you have all of that stuff and you have money to produce a film, what's the one thing that we need is still story. Absolutely. And we don't have one. The director and co-writer, Academy Award nominated, Emmy winning, he directed Paradise Lost and Paradise Lost 2 and 3. When you do Blair Witch and there's success of a documentary style and then the people that actually made that movie didn't want to be on, why not get one of the most renowned documentary, but then tell him he has to do a movie? You're not going to do a documentary, you're really going to make a film. Yeah. You see the director try to make this documentary, but not, because it's a documentary in a film that's a film. Yeah. Everyone has found footage. It just doesn't make any sense. And we've seen how acting can suffer when you don't have a director that knows how to direct you. The cinematography in this, pretty good. Yeah. I mean, for the tone of the film, it's what you would want in a horror film that has supernatural, you know, escapades going on. Right. Right away, the director tips his hat to what is going to happen for the rest of the film. You might not know exactly what's going on in the flashbacks because they're 5-10 frames at a time. Yes. But as they start to lengthen, you see that there's a murder happening before you even are introduced to the characters. But you know you're dealing with these characters the whole time, so you know it's probably going to have something to do with them. I would think so. At this point, I think we could pretty much say, that's a thing. The characters that we see, you know right away that they're the ones. Yeah. It's not that hard to figure out. And so through the movie, we know within like seconds of the film that that's going to be how it is. We are now then watching a movie
about them trying to figure out that it's them.
Yeah.
We have 5 completely different people in this movie. We have the person that looks like a witch, the goth girl, and oh, she must be a person like that we're gonna be dealing with. And then you have the actual witch girl, who is a Wiccan, and she's complaining about her beliefs.
Anything to do with the media portrayal of witches.
Right.
People think that I drink blood, that I sacrifice children, that I worship the devil just because I'm a Wiccan.
We have the tour guide.
When you introduce characters and immediately you see that one of them was in a psych ward,
right?
You kind of feel like that might play into his character a little bit. And this is a sort of smart part of the writing.
Okay.
One of the only pieces is the fact that he is capitalizing off of the success of the movie Blair Witch. Now, in this movie, Blair Witch Project is a movie, and they believe it to not be real.
And then we have a couple that is doing a research on the Blair Witch, and they're doing a book, and their boyfriend, girlfriend, she's pregnant. I mean, why even have that? Okay, I guess because the witch kills children, and so then she has a miscarriage in the film. Like, why?
As she kind of cycles through her psychosis, I guess, she does the best job of anyone at acting. She's sort of a believable crazy person. Now, the guy that was in the psych ward, not a believable crazy person.
He just seems like a lazy guy.
Yeah, he's just a slacker.
Mm-hmm. The first night they go out, they get hammered.
They were going to collect information, they were going to research, they were going to see if they could be scared, and then they just get blitzed out of their minds and have no way of knowing if anything happened. So they're just counting on cameras, which batteries die, tapes run out.
You would think.
You got an hour and a half max of stuff, and if you're blacked out, you're not going to be able to change a tape or a battery.
These are the people we have to watch for the rest of the movie.
We have to somewhat care about.
And we have to care about. And right away, the director, which I thought was smart, they throw shade on it, going, there's no way anyone would believe these people.
Right.
Because, I mean, they're drunk, they're high. Why would you believe any of their stories? So they put doubt within our mind already, but we didn't need that doubt because they're already the worst people in the world. 5 hours of their lives unaccounted for. That's in the first 20 minutes, I would think. And then for the last hour, we're working on trying to figure out what happened in those 5 hours.
The audio, well laid, very atmospheric, the whispers and everything, they're great. I feel like they really spent all their budget on the soundtrack. It was 1999, so you have the biggest names in rock and metal. You have Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, POD for some reason, Nickelback, early Nickelback, among others. They actually included on the flip side of the disc, so it was one of those dual-sided, was the soundtrack.
Wow.
Because they had to get that out somehow. That was sort of the best part of the movie, was the music.
But they were selling this soundtrack as, like, you go see the movie because we have good music.
Right.
And that's never a great start. Let's talk about, would you watch it again?
So for this, I actually did watch it a second time. But I put it, a decade and a half in between viewings.
Which is probably what is needed.
Just to allow you to be introduced to this film. Writing, directing, acting is the stuff you need, and it's just not there.
Yeah.
Not there at all. I can't count, besides the pregnant and then miscarried woman, one person doesn't hold the whole film together.
No.
A director that directs documentaries is not used to dealing with the narrative. It's no Manos.
No.
And so if Manos was here, and Plan 9, something that I can watch over and over, is here.
Okay.
I'm going to put it a little closer to Manos. Because I need performances.
Okay.
I need to care about the characters. I need direction.
Perfect.
And good visuals and a good soundtrack don't hold a film together.
My review would be, I didn't know it was a movie, so I thought it was a documentary style. So I started hating it, but at the end, I kind of enjoyed the experience all the way through. I was like, this isn't the worst movie. Okay. It's not, like you said, Manos, and it wasn't one of those I couldn't watch again. I probably would, but probably in the mix if we're doing a Blair Witch marathon.
Sure.
I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, so I'm actually gonna tilt it like this, and I would see it again in a marathon. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. We also have a podcast coming out next week on Book of Shadows. And I forgot the name of the movie.
Who can remember?
Who can remember after a time like this? Yeah. So we will be doing that podcast. coming up next week, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks back here for a new film.